Hey everybody, Roxamox9 here with some more conspiracy spoilers. You know how I mentioned that, at least according to what we saw on Twitter and such, they were going to show the whole spoiler on Friday? Well, guess what, guys? It's Friday and the whole spoiler's not up. It's a conspiracy. Ha 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 ha. But they did put up two cards on the main page, at least for us, and I'm sure they're going to be adding to it throughout the weekend, probably next week. So we first have Provoke, which is just hilarious. What a great art. 2 instant untapped target creature you don't control. That creature blocks his turn if able. Draw a card. Really, for a common, it's pretty solid removal. You stick it in a very strong creature built deck, and usually it'll be a form of removal. And it lets you draw a card for 2 mana. So 1 green to fight, 1 to draw a card. Very solid. Dax Duplicate, 2 a blue and a red for a 0/0 because it is a clone. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature. Copy of any, not target creature, that's interesting. Except it gains haste and dethrone. Holy cow, not only does it fit the colors, they did this with Steam Vents where they took a blue card, Factor Fiction, and made a red-blue variant that's the same mana cost as this card. This is doing the same with Clone, or clone-like effects. 4 mana for a clone, but it has red, so it has haste and dethrone. Holy cow, the flavor is great, but Dak is making a duplicate so that he could go steal something. This is going to be really solid in draft, of course, because you just have 4 mana double of your opponent's strongest creature, or your strongest creature. Really solid. That's probably why it's at rare, and of course most clone effects aren't rare. The fact that it gives haste and dethrone in EDH Commander, that is really, really great. Really unfair. Think about it. Someone plays Kozilek. They don't have haste. They sit in the battlefield. You play Dax Duplicate. You copy the Kozilek. You attack the guy with Kozilek. What? That's just, no, not okay. That's ridiculous. Same thing with Ulamog, Blightsteel, I don't know, any huge creature you can name in EDH Commander, they, most of the time, don't have haste. You give your copy haste. It's crazy, and I don't think it's anything that's been done before. Really amazing. That is, wow, I'm getting my foil now. It's great. Then we have 5 cards that came up in the full Vintage Master spoilers, which I'm pretty sure they did put up the full set for. And these are in Vintage Master as well. Coercive Portal, 4 colorless for an artifact will the council beginning for upkeep. Players vote Carnage or Homage. If Carnage gets the most votes, sacrifice and blow up the whole board. If Homage gets more votes or the vote is tied, you draw a card. So realize why this card is pretty solid. Now, does it have to be Mythic? Is it epic enough for Mythic? Oblivion Stone was never a Mythic. It kind of is Mythic because it's Will of the Council with this kind of effect. And it seems that they want to have something this epic that's a board clearing card. They put it at Mythic. I don't know if it had to be Mythic, but they have a Will of the Council Mythic now. And it's interesting because it blows up the board if the board's becoming degenerate, or one person's ridiculous, or 2 people are ridiculous. You can get the vote and blow everything up. If not, it just sits there drawing new cards. And this is crazy because there are plenty of card drawing engines in EDH Commander, for example. But most of the time, either your opponent can prevent you from doing it, or it costs you something. This is 4 mana, colorless, so it can fit into any deck, and just draws you cards constantly until the board gets ridiculous, and then everyone agrees they need to blow it up. I think it's fantastic. I really do. Not so much in Limited, but outside of Limited. Death Reap Ritual, 2 a black and a green for an enchantment, Morbid Enchantment. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died, you draw a card. Holy cow. Talk about card draw. This guy. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. EDH Commander again. Limited, not as much. EDH Commander, this card is insane. Every single turn, every person's turn, you probably, or not for sure, but you will probably draw a card. Wow, that is great. And the fact that it's a long-term effect, but it's not consistent. Because there are certain cards like Phyrexian Arena, every single turn you get a card, and that's a threat for people because it's constant card draw. This is going to sneak up. No one's really going to know that you're drawing as many cards as you are drawing until it's too late. At Uncommon, I think it's great. Council's Judgment. 3, Will of the Council starting with you. Each player votes for a non-land permanent you don't control. Exile each permanent with the most votes or tie for the most votes. What's really interesting here is that it's don't believe it's a target effect, which means that it can get around hexproof and such. I'm pretty sure that's how it works here, because you're voting for the permanents, you're not targeting them, and it's each permanent, which means this card is going to be really interesting to see. It might even be able to crack into Legacy It's a very interesting card. And of course, EDH Commander is great for politicizing, solid removal, but yeah, I think it does have a shot of being even in things like Legacy because it gets around things like hexproof that prevent, and I think it actually can hit True Name Nemesis, for example. So yeah, you might lose something, but your opponent loses True Name Nemesis. Seems pretty ridiculous. Realm Seekers, 6 for a 0/0, enter battle with X1 counters, where X is the total number of cards in all players' hands. 3, remove a counter, search your library for a land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. So EDH Commander, of course, this card is great because it lets you get lands consistently. Constant tutor for lands, really nice. And what's great is that it's a land card, so that's really great in EDH Commander. But realize also the fact that the total number of cards in all players' hands, EDH Commander, multiplayer is going to be a ton of cards in all players' hands. He's going to be huge bonkers. In Limited, of course, nice for thinning out your deck, but EDH Commander, this card is crazy. Probably going to put in my green deck. Academy Elite is the last 4 today. 3 and a blue for a 0/0. Extra 1 counters X number of instant and sorcery cards in all graveyards. Again, EDH Commander, that's screaming happiness. 3, remove a 1/1 counter from it, draw a card, discard a card. Okay, so it's not the greatest. It's a little expensive. Not as good as Realm Seekers, I'm sorry. At least not EDH Commander. But it is nice. That is a draw and discard engine, and I like it. So those are the cards we have for today. Sorry, not the whole spoiler, but let me know your guys' thoughts about what I just showed. And if you guys want to peruse through the Vintage Master set, I'll put that as well in the description of the video. I don't want to go over the whole set at the moment because a lot of it is reprints. But anyway, that's what I got to say about that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, tap the like button, put your comments down below, and stay tuned for more spoilers. As always, Roxbox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.